Hello, world. Welcome to episode 1 of the Brain Cells podcast. I'm your host, Chris Martin.
And I'm Donna Martin.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead and curate this journey for you guys and for ourselves as well.
And bring you along.
Yes, absolutely. So the first thing that we're actually going to get into today is we're going to define mental health. Right?
I'm liking that. I like
so before we get the real answer here, what do you think the mental health is, or what's mental health to you?
I like the way you worded that. What's mental health to me? Mental health to me is being able to get up out of bed, knowing that I'm gonna have potentially a stressful day, because obviously you got to get up and you got to go to work, you got to pay your bills, you got all these responsibilities,
Right.
but you'll be able to maintain some sense of peace within your day. And however a person may gather that peace or that strength or whatever they call it, helps them get through that day. For me, it's my religion. How about for you?
Okay, and for myself, it's religion as well. Just thanking the Most High every day. It allows me to be my ultimate self because I'm eternally grateful for even having life. Because a lot of mental health, it stems from not being grateful with what you have. Not embracing the challenges.
Gratitude.
Exactly, because even you having issues is a blessing because you're here to have them. You know what I mean?
That's powerful.
So but diving in. Okay, so now we're gonna see what. Okay, no intro here. Hold on. Okay, we got the President of the United States. Okay, yeah. So I believe this is Webster. Let me go ahead and double
It's
check
read it
here.
on the side here. It is Webster.
Okay. Oh. See, and that's why I need you, because I would have not known what it is. So we're gonna read it together here. So this is Webster's and this is backwards. So now let me just. So this is Webster's Encyclopedic Unabridged Dictionary of the English Language. Right. So they basically come out with a new set of these every year. So hang with me. We're gonna have to check the most up to date.
And Hooktophonics worked for him.
Yes, it did. Thankfully. Hey, so did UC Davis. You know what I mean?
All right.
There. You know what I mean?
That.
You know what I mean? All right, so cool. So
let's dive in.
So this is Webster's interpretation of what mental health is, right?
Okay.
So to Webster, mental health is, the first definition is the psychological well-being and satisfactory adjustment to society and to the ordinary demands of life.
Wait.
So you touched on it.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Okay, let me repeat it one time for the one time. You know what I'm saying? So it's the psychological well-being and satisfactory adjustment to society and to the ordinary demands of life.
Woo!
Right. So essentially, what I'm understanding that to mean is mental health is just how life impacts us and how we react.
Okay, so that's your definition.
Well, I mean that's what I think it is based off of what they gave us. But the second one is the field of medicine concerned with the maintenance or achievement of such well-being and adjustment. Right. So it's almost like in the definition of mental health, they expect everybody to have mental health. Like they expect everybody to be mentally healthy.
But what about that medication part? Am I reading it wrong? Are they saying that we may need medication to maintain mental health?
That's the field of medicine. So what that means is they're already preparing us to take certain pills and certain prescriptions is the word I was looking for, to be able to fill this need in our to maintain what we have in here, our mental real estate, if you will, right?
So just to make sure I understand, so based on Webster, it's saying that just living life may require you to take medication in order to maintain a state of sanity?
Absolutely.
Is that what it's saying?
And what it's saying without being said is that life is already stressful, right? Because of societal terms and just how the world's set up right now, you have a certain expectation to just be able to handle the work life, maintaining a balance between social life, family life, and then still in the midst of all that, still having time for you. And I think that's the biggest thing as well, is that people aren't really having enough time in their day because of all the obligations that society throws on us to really be able to nurture us and us mentally.
Wait. So is it possible that not only do we not have enough time? But the time that we have, we're stressing through those moments instead of finding a way to be peaceful in the quiet moment that we have.
Exactly. Okay. So now there's no time because, and we're gonna get into it. So one of the things that I'm running across in my life, because we're not specialists, we're not scientists.
No.
But what we do have is real life experiences, right?
He does have a degree.
I do have it, and she also has practiced before about
a certified substance abuse counselor for the state of California, San Diego. Do have to mention I worked in a program, and it was a residential, and then I also worked in a program that was outpatient. And after about 4 years working in that field, I became beyond capable of giving any more of myself because I didn't have healthy boundaries. So boundaries.
Was it an exhausting experience for you having to deal with that and also maintain your own? Because I imagine that you might be taking some of these problems home with you, and having that kind of mess up your own daily routines, and because because it's crazy.
You're hitting on it.
People need to understand that the only people that can pull us out of our unhealthy mental states is the person going through it.
Woo! So only you have the power to do that.
Absolutely. So that's why it's the biggest thing that can assist anybody is perspective. If you're looking
good right there.
If you're looking at a word search, right, and you're trying to find like has this ever happened? I know it's happened to me. Like where's this last word? I gotta find this. Like I took care of 99 other words, but I can't find this last word, and I'm sitting there frustrated for 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Unnecessary frustration.
Because somebody comes along and they say, "Oh, you mean that word right there?
That one right there in front of your face?"
Wow. And all that's just another healthy perspective or another perspective that you're able to see, instead of just from one angle, somebody's able to also see your blind spots. You know what I mean?
Oh, you gave me chills with that.
Oh, for real. You know what I'm saying?
That was good. So, that dude right there.
But that's why it's so important to open up these conversations, because in a community like the one that we're building here, we're able to open up the dialogue. You know what I mean? And just get into some of the things that have kind of plagued you along your mental health journey. Like what are some of the things that you suffer from and that you're dealing with here?
So,
and I'll give mine too.
It's not going to be something that's going to be discussed in one, podcast, obviously, because, I'm the 55-year-old woman, although I may not look like it. Well, almost. My birthday's coming up.
You still look like 20-something, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to do the best I can.
You feel me? Good genes, good genetic.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What I can say is, in those years that I've had, watching my siblings, there's 7 of us total, including myself. And what I perceive it as being, and the way I've approached this, is one of 7. I'm one of 7. And when I say one of 7, each and every one of us as individuals have an opportunity to go down this path or go down the other path.
Right.
For myself, one of 7, living in Chicago, that is where I remember most of the foundation of where my depression, or perhaps even concerns, and the childness that I had that was so much free. And it was just something that you're born with, and then over time, your experiences help change it and mold it into whatever it is today, unless you use the opportunity to progress and move on because somebody comes in and says, but look at this point of view from your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
and being vulnerable enough to even let somebody else know about your experiences, because that's another thing that society's made us do. Like if I'm on the bus, or if I'm on the trolley, if you in Dago, you're not gonna necessarily look to have these interactions with people.
Right.
And the person that might save your life and might help you the most, you're missing because you're literally just staring at your phone. And that's a big cause of like a lot of the shortcomings that we have in terms of our society and just the evolution of us in general is, we're tightly wound into ourselves. Like, how can we ever accept another point of view? We're not even looking for them, So that's good that you're vulnerable enough to be able to share some of that, because I'm sure that's and also another, because I know for myself, just going through life, my mom and my dad ended up getting divorced at a young age, so it forced me to have to look internally for a lot of things, and that caused me to have a lot of anxiety, to the point where now I have a sort of social anxiety. Like if I'm out and about, I have to look at my surroundings. Like I have to know what's going on. Like I can't just be standing in Walmart too long, because I hear about the other instances of how things is going up in Walmart and it's getting crazy out here, and this dude died and this dude almost, you know what I'm saying?
Wait. So is this about your experiences growing up, or is this more about your experience as a Black man, or the combination of both?
It's the duality. So not only do I have to understand myself just as a working and an able-bodied person, but I also have to understand myself in the context of how we view ourselves in the Black community, within ourselves, how other people view us, how society has deemed and set certain rules and guidelines. So I'm dealing with all that, and I'm thinking I have like a million tabs open, and I think that's one of the sources of my anxiety is I know that I was born into a battlefield almost.
Okay, I definitely want to dive into that more, and I want us during our next podcast to just go deeper into your experience and my experience, and how I thought raising you and your other three brothers that my experience growing up was going to help make your experience that much more profound.
Right.
But based on what you're telling me right now, that may or may not have been the case. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, to a certain degree, and just that there's certain things that I'm also continuing to pick up on in certain areas that I'm also growing in. So it's like it's a constant balance of how do I maintain all the things that I enjoyed while I was little, but were those habits healthy? Was the way that I was thinking? Like, for instance, even just watching certain forms of entertainment, like watching certain movies and not understanding that subconsciously me watching these either violent things or me watching these drug-filled things or me watching these sexually charged things, they've subconsciously shaped how I view the world. And I didn't even understand that, and because I've always been to myself, so I'm like, all right, like I'll be, I'm to myself, and like I've never really like I've had friends and things, but it's always kind of been like a juggle of trying to balance everything. But it's like I'm just as easily influenced by popular culture, by the things that I listen to, the things that I see. So I'm just it's a constant evolution, and it's a constant battle, but that actually ties us into the next point, which is that journey, that evolution, mental wealth. So what is mental wealth? It's pretty much what I tapped on right there, but it's also the at the end of it. Hello world, welcome to episode 1 of the Brain Cell. All right, so
look at this. Hold up, Pete. In Chicago, it is today, unless we just doing a quick review.
Okay.
Hold on. It's okay. Let's keep going on this camera.
No, it has to be the same quality.
Welcome to episode 1 of the Brain.
So where did we stop? You can break it up.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing.
So, because you'll put it together, it's okay.
Right. I know. I'm just trying to
get enough space.
Yeah, like, did I run out of space? Is that what happened? Or did we end on?
Stop mine's. And it was just something that you're born with, and then over time.